Uh, All right, you guys. You know what time is it? It's 10 p.m. Welcome again to the Midnight Run. And as always, it's me. It's that VINCE. So before we begin, I'm sure you guys are feeling bad for Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul. Apparently, he got attacked with a hammer by some crazed lunatic, And honestly, I think this is the second time he's been in the news for being hammered, Except this time, it didn't work out too well for him, you know what I mean? Just keeping the real and telling it to you like it is here. So, first thing foremost, I'm going to tell you guys what I'm drinking and smoking. Go ahead and post down there as always what you got on hand tonight while you're hanging out with me. So, first off, I was feeling a little down there because of numbers, so I have a Gurkha Hudson Bay. I got French press coffee this time. Of course, with French press coffee, you got to keep it in a nice little mug. A little bit of French brandy that goes along with it. And water. All low cost because I got to cut back on the funds and a little bit of money, because I'm paying employees now and stuff. So making more money, but, at the same time, I'm a pretty frugal person. Oh, quick, I always drink coffee at nighttime. I'll be up until like 2 or 3. I can drink a cup of espresso and then I can go to bed just like that. But folks, it's time for the blue flame, blue flame. He fought with the Gurkhas? That's pretty cool there. Gurkhas are very proud people. They're fearsome warriors here. They did a lot for World War II. So here we go. Gonna toast that cigar a little bit. Then, Gurkha Hudson Bay is one of my favorite cigars here. Doesn't cost too much there, and it's good premium Nicaraguan tobacco. Thoughts on being a male and having children, but considering OnlyFans for extra shekels? Uh, you should never do OnlyFans there because that follows you around for the rest of your life. I mean, not only that, you're getting paid so little just to show your noodle there. I know it's a source of income for Richard and his wife Jasmine, but it's never going to be a source of income. I'd rather pick up a job at Family Dollar, and I've actually worked at Family Dollar. It's better just to get a crummy job than a job that you'll have regrets. I mean, think about it for a minute. You got Kai Green, for example. Kai Green, multi-champion, everything like that, but people are still going to remember him as fucking a watermelon. Or, excuse me, not a watermelon, but a grapefruit, actually. And that's going to follow him around for the rest of his life. And the same with Nick Trigili and everything, and Kali Muscle. They got more money than I do from doing all that there and everything, but is it really worth it? Mm-mm. But as far as having kids, that's just another reason why you shouldn't do OnlyFans especially if you have children. So, all right, someone's got some beer. Let's see what else everybody else has got. What am I investing in these days? Well, I'm out of the cryptocurrency business for the most part there. I'll probably go back to Forex pretty soon. But right now, I'm scraping and buying old domains and refixing them up there. Yeah, a lot of people are losing their shit with the cryptocurrency. So I'm just buying websites for right now for the most part. The recession is going to be around next year, so I don't want to take any real chances or anything like that. Yes, they did. The Gurkhas there were some tough bastards here. No, I'm not going to invest in the cannabis industry. To me, marijuana is just not something that I get down with. I've smoked marijuana before, but I don't think marijuana is going to be a good investment there. And there's just there's a number of reasons because once it's fully legalized, the cigarette industry is going to have it on lockdown. Then they're going to throw a bunch of chemicals in it and stuff. Yeah, OnlyFans is a flooded market because kids don't know better. People like Vegan Gains and people that are younger than me, they don't realize just how much damage they're doing. They think that they could show their noodle and get a couple of dollars just for being naked and having sex or doing God knows what there. People nowadays don't have any shame whatsoever. Yeah, I know exactly, Nameless. A lot of people don't make any money on OnlyFans. I'll let you know that. You know, they're not gonna make any real money on there for everything that they're basically giving up. They're being embarrassed. Their friends see them on OnlyFans. They show them their noodles. I've seen, and you guys know that I'm gay. I've seen where arguments have broken out on Facebook, and all of a sudden, just for an act of rage and just to get back at them, they show their nude pictures and everything like that. Like I said, you're running into things like that. I don't think Big Boy and Kali Muscle are on the down low there. I think that's just made up there. I mean, they do have a business relationship, but that's just them strength cartel people going back and forth with each other. Well, I thought it was a watermelon. I'm sorry. It's a grapefruit. No, I'm sure he's probably done a watermelon before, but we've just not seen it. Lana Rhodes and Blake Griffin kid. Uh, once a kid gets older, no matter how bad you raise them there, kids usually end up finding their way. They'll stumble a bit, but they'll eventually find their way for the most part. But, it's not exactly working with the right gene pool, if you know what I mean. Well, Julian, it goes beyond that there, actually. You see, but you are right on that. People were buying Bitcoin at the highest prices and stuff like that. And I told people, don't go and buy it. Don't go and buy it. But not only are they not losing their value, but some of these brokerages are actually just, they're just shutting down because it's been just like a big giant scam there. It was good when people were mining for Bitcoins, but nowadays people are buying them. It's sort of like those NFTs. There's just a lot of fake stuff running around, so I wouldn't buy REIT stuff there. You'd have to ask Pugman about it. Pugman, I didn't see you there. Sorry about that there, because I had it scrolled up there. By the way, folks, I'm getting a new monitor. This will be the last day I actually use this camera. Because I'm just missing a whole lot of names. But Pugman, you my dog, welcome to the show. Always good to see you. In fact, always good to see all you folks here, so. But REITs, no. Don't do it. Invest in a Gymshark? No, I'm not going to invest in any Gymsharks or any gym equipment. That's just a waste. And I'm also not looking for any sponsorships here. The last company I was actually down with was ALR Industries. That was it. I miss Arthur. He was a good guy, I actually spoke with Lana the last week about things. She sold a Mexican restaurant and everything, but no, I'm no longer seeking any sponsors. I'm going to run my own businesses and stuff. I feel a whole lot better. I'm not tied in because remember, folks, if I start, and this is what I was talking about previously, if I start being sponsored by any supplement companies, that means I got to broadcast the shit on my channel and everything like that. So every time I make a video, I was like, well, this channel is sponsored by blah, 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 like Nick Trigillian. I don't want to do that, I'm sure I'm missing out on money, but, like I said before, it's not always about money. Well, Vince, you do know I run I do run a sports book at goodrumsportsbook.com. But if you have a gambling addiction, it's best to stay away from my website. You just need to get help. They also got these little devices. It's like a little lock thing. So when you go to the casino, it keeps you from spending more than you set out to actually spend. It works up to a certain point until they just get a key and just unlock it there. It's not a good prevention tool, but gambling addiction, serious thing. If you're no longer having fun gambling, then that's when, it's just like drinking. If you drink in moderation, it's fine, but too much drinking is not good for you, period. Well, I'm not from I know that Canada and a lot of other European countries have free health care. I think we should have it here in the U.S. there. That's if everyone decided to work for a living. We got a lot of lazy people here in the States here. They don't want to work. And quite frankly, I don't like giving out things for free. That's my opinion on that. Paul Joseph Watson. I've only seen him like one or two times here. I don't really have too much of an opinion. Folks, I got to listen to someone for at least a week or so in order to, just get a stretch as far as the type of person they are, really. Well, Jasmine actually has some sort of sewing type thing on her live streams. That and she'll play video games just as well, but uh, they're about the same as Richard's here, surprisingly. I think they actually met while they were gaming together, from what I understand. Well, Moon Cookie didn't have to wait 1 year for knee surgery. I guess. Well, I didn't. I mean, I'm not aware that she lived in Canada, but yeah, if you live in Canada and it's not something that's a emergency situation, then yeah, you're gonna wait a little extra time for things such as this here. I mean, I dated girls here, Nasco. The thing about it is, I'm not Nostradamus, and I'm not the biologist or anything like that. Uh, so as far as this born being gay type thing, it's something I can't answer there. I can't I'm not an expert at biology there. Some people say there is, other people don't. That's perfectly fine there with me. I don't care. But my whole point on things is you just got to be yourself there. If you're not yourself, then you got to be you're in a position of where you're not living your life right. If you are attracted to men and you get married to a woman, that's not being fair to any woman whatsoever there. That's not being fair to your wife. You got to be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? Uh Halloween. I don't know what you mean by scat, man. I think everybody knows I'm gay. So. Oh, Richard does have a hard on for Tefano. I mean, they do argue with each other, but I think if they actually got together, they'd tear each other's eyeballs out. No, I definitely wouldn't date Joy Stacks here. No, Has Vegan Gaines been pegged by his wife? I really would hate to answer that type of question there. Really. Running a little behind on questions, so you guys hang tight there. Be nice, NG. Be nice. And Pugman, definitely appreciate the donation as always. Like I said, you're a big supporter of the channel there, and like I said, anything you put down goes right back into it. And like I said, I got a new camera coming in, so things are going to be a lot sharper as far as the videos are concerned. Anyone that bought a NFT? NFTs are dumb, Charlie. NFTs are just dumb. It's digital art. Buy real art. I got real art on my walls here. No, I'm not a flat earther. Oh. Look, folks, the Earth is round. The way you know it's round is if you go to, like, for example, Death Valley, you go to a flat land, you'll notice that it curves down naturally there. The world ain't flat there, You should have learned something from Copernicus or so forth. Julian, I dated a lot of women. So I tried there. I dated a lot of women. I had a girlfriend. I had 2 girlfriends when I was in high school. Yeah. Charlie, that is actually alleged as far as to whether Aaron snitched out or not there. But seeing as how he's getting less time than PJ now, but I'm not involved in Aaron's business anymore. I haven't spoken with him since the day before he actually turned himself in. And I'm not on his writing list there. I have no real interest. I think that Aaron needs to concentrate on doing time and bettering himself there. So I don't know whether he's snitching. I don't know what he's actually doing. That's something you'd have to ask Dave Palumbo about. Because he's actually on his inmate list. Ice Monkey, it doesn't matter if a guy has hair or no hair. It's It doesn't make any difference to me. I told you, you should always date someone based on personality and whether you connect or not so much on looks. You date by looks, you're going to lose any day. Trust me on that. I'm not investing in any gym sharks. Nope. Pugman, I am not hiring at this present time. I outsource through Fiverr. I hire for short periods of time, either Americans or people from India or so forth, which I've done for years. So I only hire per job there, per se, whenever I'm pretty busy. But I can actually do my own coding, marketing, and stuff like that. That's over the course of time, along with working with Verizon. So a lot of things that I did at Verizon, I employ with my businesses now. So shut up, Charlie. Yes, Julian, that is legit. Like I said, Pugman's one of my best donators there, and I definitely appreciate him always looking out for the V-Man, and stuff. As well as everybody else as well that, it's sort of like that Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, a quarter, a penny, a nickel, a dime. Everybody in the place say miracles. You got to say give, say give for miracles to live. Say give for miracles to live. If you guys hadn't seen Breaking 2, you got to check it out. It's a pretty good movie. Breaking 1 is pretty good too. So, Julian, shut up. Don't worry about where people's money come from. That's his business. Well, you gotta, if you go to GoodrumSportsbook.com, you always play with house money. You see, whenever I'm playing blackjack, I play with basically the house money. So the way I gamble, and like I said, the where I learned how to gamble from was Telly Savalas. Telly Savalas had a little tape that he used to send out along with the Players Club as far as how to properly play blackjack. So I win a couple of hands, and the other bets that I make is basically on the winnings that I made, basically. And once I'm done with that set amount to spin, you walk away from the table. That's actually a good idea. I'm gonna do a live stream and show the Telly Savalas on how to gamble and stuff like that. It's pretty good. Jasmine said that. I can't. I'm not on their stream there because they banned me the minute I got up there. I never even spoke to anyone. Pugman. They just went and. Vegan Gains is an impulse buyer, Charlie. So he'll get a dog, he'll get a scooter. I'm sure he's going to get more things, and that house is just crowding up there. That's one of the symptoms of depression. There, you make impulse buys in order to make yourself feel better. Instead, he should smoke a cigar and drink a little bit of brandy. And, a lot of people laughed at me about that there, and stuff. But now some people are actually realizing that, hey, like I said, I learned from my granddaddy, It's not something that I just picked up and I'm saying this for shits and giggles. This is something my grandpappy taught me, you know what I mean? Good old Plummer Senior. That was my grandfather, He's been gone for over 30 years, but, he always gave good advice there on things there, And I didn't understand it when I was a kid at the time, but now I do, so. So I'm going to try to catch up on questions here. Sorry I'm running behind. A lot of things are coming in, so let's see. Julian, like I said, YouTube's gonna hide those comments there, or so forth, and I'm not gonna answer that anyway. Oh, just ugh. Who is my favorite professional skateboarder? I'm not really into skateboarding, but I've seen Tony Hawk's moves there. I think he's an excellent skater there, but I'm not into skateboarding. Well, blah, I do appreciate it, but my fashion is pretty much cap. I have a capsule wardrobe system. Robert, come on now, don't say stuff like that. That's mean. Yes, my ex-husband was white. Uh, I'm not sure why that's bet. I mean, most people know that. There, got to keep up there, brother. Well, egg shape, round shape. I mean, it's still round. It doesn't really matter. There, Blaha. Would I be opposed there? Well, remember what I said there. You got to be yourself there. I wouldn't be fair to that woman, knowing, as far as dating is concerned. Like I said, you got to be true to yourself. So I would be opposed generally out of the principles that I've set for myself there. And I think most people would agree with me. PJ has a has a temper issue. I mean, he doesn't have much temperance, but I think over the years he will get some temperance being in prison. At least I hope so. You don't say, Charlie. I didn't know Aaron removed Dave Palumbo from his visitor and writing list here. How much was I making at Verizon? With bonuses and everything, I was making a little over 70,000 a year. I still get like a bonus next year since over I worked over 6 months there, so I'll probably get another check for maybe like $4,000 or $5,000 or so. Although the company's been looking pretty bad lately, so. Scatman, which website are you talking about? I have about 12 different websites. You'll have to be more specific, but uh, my e-commerce sites are very simple on purpose there. That way they run super fast there and allows me to run multiple websites for real cheap there. That's the key thing. People don't care about how your website looks. They just want to get in and check out. And a lot of these websites that look fancy, and believe me, I can build a fancy, updated website, but they move slow like molasses because of that. And people don't want to fool with that type of stuff. So my websites are kind of simple there. They may look dated there, especially my budget medical supply. That website's about almost 15 years old, but it brings in the money there. Mm. Oh, like I said, you see all these people with fancy websites, but then they lose their shirt. Remember, folks, I've been in business for over 20 years, so I know what works and doesn't work there. That's one of the reasons why companies like Verizon paid me so much money, because I know business there and I know marketing. And I know what people want. People don't care about what the website looks like. They want to check in, they want to get their shit, and they want to get it out, and they want to get the best price for it. By running a inexpensive site, it allows me to beat the competition. My prices on my websites are lower than Amazon because of that. Yes, you can bet on horses on my website there. There's links for that, so you can bet on anything. It's mostly now fantasy football there, so. Well, PC gaming in the 90s there, I was playing Duke Nukem 3D, Descent, and, I was a typical gaming type person there when I had my computer. Now, remember, I had an Atari ST at the time, so there was plenty of Atari games that were out there. Do I consider myself the gay black Kojak? I mean, I've watched Kojak. Telly Savalas is someone I really looked up to, you know, when I was a kid. He was a cool muff, you know. So I guess if you call me the black gay Kojak, then I consider that a compliment, so I do appreciate that. Kaizen, I am a big anime person. That's pretty much all I mostly watch is anime. I have Crunchyroll, and I watch a ton of anime. I mean, if you've seen some of my debates with Vegan Gains here, you'll see me wearing a bunch of anime shirts here, so. Julian brandy is, this is inexpensive brandy. This is Simbone French brandy, you know. It's not really high class there, but it's you know, it's a general drink. It's good. Simbone makes a good XO brandy. You know, it's well aged. And, you know, with me trying to cut back on expenses, it works for me. So you can drink whatever you want there, you know. The Underground Railroad ended many years ago. No, after the Civil War ended, my family stayed on the plantations. They just worked and got a paycheck there. They stayed on there until probably about the 60s or 70s, 1960s and 70s. I've not seen Big Lenny's video. Usually I hop into his live streams and see what he's up to there. So I'll check it out as normal there. So. What do I recommend for your first drink? Beer. I would recommend beer first, or maybe a white Zinfandel. That's what I would start out with. Charlie, be nice there. You can't say that type of stuff, but the answer would be no. I'm not even going to repeat what you said. But start with either beer or white Ziff and then move up there. You'll figure it out on your own there. I tell people just, you know, once you have a beer, once you have white Zinfandel, it's going to determine which path you're going to go to as far as either craft beers or wines or hard liquors or so forth, or just all of them. Oh, the cigar is awesome there. It burns pretty, the Gurkha Hudson Bays burn pretty bad, as you can tell. I may have to touch it up a bit there, but it's probably also because I'm talking. Well, Aaron knows exactly what type of person Dave is, and he wasn't bad-mouthing him or anything like that. He reports on things, you know. I mean, Aaron's going to have to answer for a lot of people when he gets out of prison there. No doubt about it there. So, you know, like I said, I'm not involved in that situation. I'm not involved in Aaron's business anymore, you know. I just wish all the best for him and his family there. Michael Sam is not my type. He dated a person with a lot of mob connections there, which was kind of surprising there. I mean, his ex-boyfriend had some serious mob connections. But you know, I don't know what he's doing nowadays here. He wasn't too successful in the NFL, and neither was the CFL, and that. You know, it's not because he's gay. It's just that, you know, not everyone's cut out to it. A lot of people flash out of the NFL and the CFL there. That's just the way things are. So I would say that that's actually normal, you know. Exactly, Charlie. Amazon has a simple design there. That's what works there, you know, not fancy graphics or anything. That slows down people's phones. Nobody wants a pile of flashing icons there. People just want to buy stuff there. They don't care how old the website looks. No, I'm gay, James. Like I said, I've dated a woman. I've had coitus with women, so I pretty much know better, so. Chances are Jake Paul's going to win because I think those, I mean, I can't prove it, but I think some of those fights are fixed there, you know. Because Jake Paul is winning against people that he really shouldn't have won against. I'm going to be honest with you. Well, yes, I'm an Amazon affiliate, Pug. Amazon is the best there, you know. The thing about it is my businesses can't beat all the time Amazon and Walmart because of all the stuff they have. So that's why I am an Amazon affiliate as well there. So if you go on vincegoodrum.com or any of my websites, you'll see links for Amazon, and I get a cut of that, you know. I try to do the best I can. That's why I have 12 websites here. And that's another reason why my sites are simple. They have to be simple in order to run so many websites here. You know, someone with Shopify, they got to pay almost $100, and that doesn't even include advertising or anything. The cost to run my websites is $10 a year. You hear me? Just $10 a year just to run my websites. And the amount of money I put in just to build them is like $60. So I'm running my websites for $10. I put $60 a month each in advertising the websites on Google. So you do the math. Remember, I didn't tell you guys, I'm actually now a brand ambassador for Mint Mobile there. So while I'm not an actual employee, I actually now sell their phones there, you know, as an affiliate. So as far as phone companies are now, I still have my Verizon service because for some reason or another, I'm still getting my employee discount. So once they figured out that I no longer work there and they take it out, I'll probably move my service over to Mint Mobile. Now, I also sell government and Obama phones as well. As soon as I left Verizon, I signed back up with Easy Wireless. So I just walk around town. I give people a barcode. They scan it. They get their Obama phone or so forth, and I get $15. And then I get, you know, just for that sign up. It's one of the easiest businesses to actually do to make extra money. I can even set up a flea market table for like $10 and just leave a bunch and just put up a little ad and put a bunch of barcodes on there. People will scan it. Even if they don't make a purchase there, all the YouTube AdSense ads will pretty much cover the cost of that table and everything. In fact, I have Facebook ads running right now. Go on to my cousin's stream. Let's see what he's actually doing. I think it'll mess up my stream if I do that. So let's take a look and see what Richard's talking about. So I'll just play the audio. What is he talking about anyway? Ooh, better remove that. I don't want you guys hearing that here. I'm a simple man, but I got needs, people. All right. Vegan gains. Let's see what he's talking about. Commercial.
Black Friday sale will begin on Tuesday, November 20th.
He's in between Athlean X and the other fucking idiot.
Meantime, while that's playing, some questions here. Ooh, I'm way behind.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't fucking remember the guy's name.
No, Richard couldn't play the games that I played there, so. Akami La Kill, actually, that was an awesome series. Awesome. Blaha, I do have an ozone
My sister's
generator.
upgraded him.
Am I stronger than Blaha? At this point in time, no. I'm not stronger than Blaha. Because I'm not powerlifting or lifting heavy anymore. So I'll let him be stronger, but I'm actually smarter and more handsome than he is.
This guy is like in between Athlean X and Joel Seedman. Why the fuck does he think this is a better exercise than a...
He's boring. I don't want to listen to that. Cowboy Bebop was also one of the greatest series out there. It's a shame what they did with that live action crap that they did on Netflix there, but Cowboy Bebop was legendary. And everyone seems to argue about how it ended, whether Spike died or not there. The director left it as being ambiguous, but people will still argue about that, you know. I don't know why. It's best just to leave things where it is. Sometimes things, it's like The Sopranos. Sopranos did it the right way. Just leave it ambiguous as far as to what happened. How many drool cups now? Be nice there. Craziest thing is... Yeah, he is my third cousin there. But, you know, I have to, you know, I really don't want to do it, but I still have to treat him somewhat like family there, you know. Because otherwise my mom would be yelling at me and, you know, and stuff. And I love my mama. You mean cigars? I started regularly smoking cigars maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. I don't really recall. It wasn't too long after I stopped competing in bodybuilding, you know. Whenever I was regularly competing in bodybuilding, cigars and stuff were a no-no, you know. I buy websites and I'll either run them for myself and sometimes I sell them to other people there, you know. Some of my most of my websites, the WordPress ones, they actually run themselves. I just auto-load them with articles. Either ones that I've written or people that I pay in order to write them, you know. It just really depends. Or I'll use the websites as a landing page for advertising a product. No, Scatman, I have no regrets on alcohol and caffeine and stuff like that. Don't have regrets in life there. Yes, Pugman is a relative to us there. After all, you know. Me and John Romano have been at each other's throats for 20 years, so I get what you mean. I absolutely hate John Romano. I don't even want to speak with him. And if I ever go on his show, I'm not going to say anything to him or anything. That's one of the reasons why Dave hasn't brought me up there is because of John, because it'll go to DEFCON 5, so... John Romano wears a beanie because he gets head cold there. That's the reason being. Plus, he doesn't want people seeing that he's bald. But he actually has... Some people actually have that where they need to keep their head warm and stuff like that. They get head cold there. I think that's where... we don't talk about John Romano's son. It's always... folks, don't talk about John Romano's son. Yeah, leave people's family like that out of it there, you know. So I'm not even gonna go into that there, you know. Just let that be, you know. I got an issue with John Romano. I don't have an issue with his son, you know, and I'm not gonna go and talk about him. I mean, like Big Rob, he'll talk about, you know, that's what pissed me off there. As much as I hate John Romano, talking about somebody's kid, that's you know. That's why I yelled at Richard for messing with John Meadows' kid. They're not they're not discount cell phones, Pugman. They're free cell phones. They're Obama phones. They're government phones here, ones that are paid by our tax dollars there anyway. And they're technically not Obama phones. They're actually Hoover phones because the low income phone program started in the late 20s here, after the stock market crash of 1929. So technically, they're actually Hoover phones, if anything. You could say I'm an anime connoisseur there, so. Eating red meat 3 times a day is very bad for your health there. You'll no longer see the blue flame. You won't see the purple flame, I don't think, on my new camera there, but we'll see. I may just tune it in. As far as Cayenne West is concerned, a lot of people have asked me about him. He's bipolar there, and I think he's off his end there. But, sadly enough, some of the stuff he says is actually the truth there, and some people can't seem to take that red pill, but he's bipolar. He's all over the place. He needs help there, But I guess that's part of someone's personality. No, I'm not going to challenge Lenny to the Ruby there. I don't think Blaha's taken any PEDs or anything. John Romano is a great writer there. I mean, as far as articles are concerned, I will give him that he does know how to write. So, he used to write he wrote many years for Muscular Development, but those days are long past, and he hasn't done really much since here. I've not gone on after hours with Dave, but I probably will eventually. Bugman with the $99 donation. Definitely appreciate you as always. No, I've never taken that type of stuff there. Like I said, as far as, sorry, I've had a little bit of brandy. I have no reason to go and decide to grow my hair or anything like that. I mean, I'm just going to leave the way God intended it there. I was meant to be bald. I was destined to be bald. So. Remember, there's no telling as far as to what Richard is actually going to do. I'm going to be honest with you on that. There's no telling. But if he doesn't get a hold of his depression issues there, it's just going to get worse, that's for sure. What did Richard say about John Meadows' kid? On one of his live streams, he went to the kid's Instagram and profile, and he was wishing that he was dead and everything like that. So it was pretty horrible. But yes, it is. Yes, Pugman, you're right. It's still on YouTube. You can find it quite easy. You can find a lot of Richard's old videos there. You can even find the one to where he's literally trashing his wife there before they got married for breaking up with him initially. That one was really, really bad. So, Iowa Hawkeyes offense. Oh, boy. I would be here for about an hour if I talked about their offense here. Like I said, just like most teams, as long as they're... I don't think really when it comes to football, it's not always about offense or defense. It's all about having an overall game itself there, So as far as their offense is concerned, you got to look at it I look at things as a team effort. Offense, defense, play calling and everything. You got to have a well-rounded look when it comes to sports. Big Lenny's an idiot for suggesting if he really said that red meat minimum 3 times a day. That's no, don't do that. I answered that last week, and my favorite 80s movie was Spaceballs there. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, I think, came out in the early 90s here. But I would say Spaceballs there would be my favorite 80s movie. But, you know, in the 80s, we went to we went to just about every movie because, you know, we didn't have Netflix and all the streaming services. If you wanted to watch a movie, you know, I also didn't have VCR neither when I was growing up. So if I wanted to watch a movie, then I'd have to wait for the Disney. Disney on Sunday, there was always that Disney movie there that started around 8 o'clock on ABC, The Wonderful World of Disney, back in the 80s. So I would get to watch an old Disney movie there. But if you wanted to watch a movie in the 80s, you had to go to the movies. I can't offer opinion on that. I just don't take the stuff raw. Like I said, you'd have to ask someone that actually takes it as far as side effects are concerned, because it's not a steroid or anything like that. I'm better equipped to answer questions about steroids, but not something that's specific for hair growth there. I just don't use it for personal reasons, but for a lot of people who want to grow hair, I've seen good and positive results, but I don't have a real opinion on it. Scatman, my balls have hair on it there, if that answers your question. So, but whenever I was competing, I would actually use Nair for Men in order to remove the hair. I wouldn't shave it. I've seen every single Bruce Lee film there. Every single last one of every movie that Bruce Lee ever made, I've seen. I've even seen all the episodes of The Green Hornet as well, if that even counts. So, at what age did I start getting my finances in order? I think I've always been frugal since I was a kid. I had a checkbook program when I had my first computer at 15 there. But, you know, I've lost a lot of money over time there. I've had my ups and downs and everything. That's one thing, but the key to finances is to make sure that you're bringing more money in than you're putting out, in other words. So, yes, Mel Brooks was a genius. I certainly hope he makes a couple of more movies here. That's debatable, Scatman, as far as how much damage Vegan Gains has done, but, you know, no one would know who Vegan Gains was. You see, if you look at the pre-Vegan Gains, the early videos where he was eating meat there, he didn't get any views or anything. Only when did he spout things like, I'm going to kill you and everything like that, and all these news articles started popping up. That's when he started getting his fan base. Greatest NBA player of all time, Bill Russell, actually, is the greatest basketball player of all time. Now, Jordan is part of my era itself there, but when it comes to basketball, even I have to acknowledge that Bill Russell is the greatest basketball player of all time, in my opinion. Now, if there was a second place, definitely Jordan. So, and then third, I would honestly say, and I think some people will hate me for it, would probably be Larry Bird. Larry Bird was an awesome player. I mean, people just thought of him as shooting all those three-pointers, but the one thing that he was good at is passing the ball around and getting those assists and everything like that. It's not always about making the shot in basketball. It's all about it's all about a team effort. And one thing Larry Bird was, he was a court general, in other words, is what I would call him. So, you know, people will be debatable as far as Larry Bird's concerned, but I like Larry Bird there, you know, because he was a good manager of things. anything that had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it there, you know, was my favorite. But you got to be more specific as far as the Conan stories are concerned. There's a lot of great people that have done it, including Steve Reeves and stuff. So I think the newer one was somewhat okay. It wasn't like it didn't have the mystique as the 82. Scatman, Blazing Saddles will never be made. I mean, this woke society wouldn't be able to take Blazing Saddles. They would literally lose their shit if they did. There will be no sequel to Blazing Saddles, I can tell you. That's right, Bill Russell there. Kobe would be down on the list itself there. I would say probably maybe 11 or 12 there. There's a number of players that I think were better than Kobe, including Shaq, for example. But I would say it would be down in 11 and 12 there. I don't know what a Norwood 7 is there. You'll have to be more specific there. Oh, where he beats up the whole dojo? Yeah. Yep, after that, the good part was where he shoved that paper into those guys' mouth there. The next time it'll be glass. Jackie Chan wasn't kicked through the glass there. He had his neck broken after a shoulder throw, and he got hit in the face with when Bruce Lee had the pole. Now, fun fact: Jackie Chan was hit for real by Bruce Lee with that pole, and he got hurt pretty badly there. So when you see it in the movie when you see it in the movie itself, when Jackie Chan gets hit with that pole, that's for real. That's a real hit. You know, they didn't even edit that out there. He got hit for real by that pole. And I can imagine how much that would hurt. No, I wouldn't go to I wouldn't go to that kind of Halloween party. Blazing Saddles may censor it on TV, but guess what? That's why there's DVDs, my friend. Getting into a boxing match with Jay Masters would be pointless there, you know. There'd be no point to it. Van Damme made some great movies here. You know, he's a great actor there, you know, and I did like him in The Expendables. I was kind of surprised he was still able to do all those moves at his age. Yeah, I would put him in my top 5 as far as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is concerned. But you know, at the same time, you know, he had that devastating skyhook there. You know, it was pretty much a one-trick pony. For me, as far as basketball is concerned, you know, I take the approach where, you know, it's a team effort. It's good to be able to shoot and everything like that, but, you know, one thing that I don't like is ball hogs. That's also why I rate Kobe down the list as well there. The way I rate basketball players is whether they're a leader on the court or not. Scatman, I laughed all throughout the movie of Blazing Saddles. I mean, I literally lost my breath there with all the laughter I had from watching Blazing Saddles. I'm not sure if this is the real Jay Masters or not. How does it feel to be a gay black man in South Carolina? Feels like anyone else here. I don't have any trouble being gay in South Carolina. Cigar is done, folks. We're going to give it a little twist. I'm going to have a little bit of brandy. I didn't like the Cyborg movie that he did. That was one of the ones I didn't like from Van Damme. Kaizen, Blaha has claimed a whole bunch of things. He does that all the time. Yeah, Kate, I finally watched Paul Joseph Watson there, like I was suggested last week, and I watched a couple of videos. He's a very interesting guy, very smart cookie there. He has a lot of good ideas here, so he's a good guy. I'm going to probably watch a couple of more there, but glad you mentioned that. I did decide to tune into a couple of his videos. I've actually subscribed to it now, so hopefully I'll get it caught up there, so. You want to debate against me, Jay? I don't have Discord or anything like that. That would be something that would be set up, but what would we debate about anyway? Besides that, your racial rhetoric there is not something I'm really down with there, so... Well, every sport, Raw, is a primitive sport. Basketball has its roots from the Roman days there, much like any other sport there. Everything derives from everything, like the Olympics. That was done during the gladiator times there. So sports are generally primitive because there's always been an offshoot of it there. From when shepherds were playing with rocks and hitting the rocks into holes and stuff like that, that's what brought in golf. So every sport's actually primitive. They have their roots. How often should athletes get a massage? Usually after working out, and they need to make sure they keep their stuff in, not like Deshaun Watson or anything. No, I have never used any poppers whatsoever. That stuff is dangerous. I mean, huffing in nitrates and stuff like that, that'll mess up your heart there. And right now, honestly, as at my age there, the last thing I want to be messing with is my heart. Aaron P. is a moron. He's not even worth debating. Ooh, that brandy is strong tonight. Let's get a little bit of French press. Got my little milk too. We'll add a little bit of that. I was a bodybuilder, Crystal, but I no longer compete. Well, I mean, Scatman Big Lenny is right. Basketball is a primitive sport, and so is football as well as every other sport. It is primitive, He can say it in an insulting manner. I'm not sure if he said it as an insulting manner or something like that. It makes no difference. All sports are primitive. I don't have any Baileys there, Kaizen. I don't have any Baileys. I'm beginning to think that this isn't Jay Masters there, so. Make sure I haven't missed anything here. Doop, 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 doop. Folks, we got an hour left, so feel free to ask me anything here, so. This is some good coffee, folks, there. I'm going to tell you right now. If you guys ever want the best coffee, get yourself a French press there. Best stuff around. You know what? Jay and Lenny will. I mean, if I had to take a guess, they'll probably end up boxing or mud wrestling or something like that. Just to get mints there. I've been to a swingers club before, but I was at a job at doing security for that for a number of swingers clubs. So I've been there, but I didn't participate. I was there to make money. When you do security work, sometimes you get high jobs, and then sometimes you get the lowest stuff. I didn't know Jay was at home. I didn't know he was living with his moms or so forth there. I thought he had his own place, although I do see him in the pool or in a hotel usually, or in his rig or so. No, I wouldn't vote for DeSantis. I don't actually like the guy. Any guy that goes and spends Florida taxpayer dollars to take immigrants from Texas and fly them up there just for political reasons, that's not cool. Not in my book there, you know. Raw, stop bothering me about Aaron P. I don't care about him. He's a goof. He's not worth debating. Pugman, you can never have too much caffeine there. I'm a type person that, I can drink this here and I could still fall asleep a couple of minutes later, I think my body is pretty much used to it at this point in time there, to where I'm used to having caffeine there, Deedle, deedle, deedle. Remember, this is a somewhat family show. I'm sipping on French press coffee there. Decided to make a French press tonight rather than my usual espresso. And whenever I make a French press, I keep it in one of these cups. Yeah, I have some very interesting stories working in security and working as a detention officer. Bunches of them. I don't regret the work, but I'm glad I don't have to get hit in the face anymore or get injured. That's the one thing about security. You have to have that expectation that you're going to get injured, and you will get injured. If you don't get injured, that means you're not really doing a good job. Dylan, I only smoke one cigar a day. That's my whole thing there. I may smoke a little tiny little cigaretto, but I limit myself just to one cigar a day. Now, when I was working at Verizon, I was smoking about 3 of them. I got up to about 3 of them a day for maybe about a week, but it was a very stressful time at work there, so, and I had to stay up and write reports and stuff like that. How many milligrams of caffeine? Probably not too much, because some coffee that I drink is actually decaf. So I would have no idea. Maybe 200 milligrams there, maybe, if that. Because sometimes I'll drink decaf and then other times I won't there. So. Just a friend of mine, he said he went to a gay club for the first time ever, so sorry about that, folks. I didn't know that Jay wasn't working there. Well, judging by what he's eating there, you know, he needs to cool it with his eating habits. I saw the one with all the pancakes and all the other stuff like that. You really shouldn't be eating like that, given his health issues. Look, guys, and some people can't handle too much caffeine there, so I'm not sure what. And it's possible Genova may have been using something else because here's the thing. One thing I don't use is pre-workout powders or anything like that. The only thing I use is caffeine or from coffee. So what probably happened is Genova was probably taking pre-workout powder, which has a high amount of caffeine. And then when you combine that along with coffee, then you're going to have a caffeine overload. Yeah, security is hard work there, but, you know, it pays the bills. Athens, I used to use the ECA stack, ephedrine, caffeine, and aspirin. But, of course, now it's all banned. It's over with. That was an awesome fat burner. I don't know who actually says that, anti-nutrient and making my bones weak or anything. I would have to disagree with them. My bones are just fine. Yes, I've been in a car crash before. I was ran off the road by this teenager that was talking on the phone. This was back in 2005. I did get a settlement there for it. I think I got like $10,000 or something. But yeah, I've been run off the road before. Truth one, his logic is dumb. You know, he's not Herschel Walker or anything like that. When you put your body in a starvation mode, once you start eating food, your body is going to be susceptible to storing it as fat there. Because it thinks that, you know, it has, the body thinks that it needs to store it up in case that he goes into a fasting state again. So, no, it's not going straight to his muscles there, you know. I don't know where he gets that from. Herschel Walker and Louis Farrakhan, they eat one meal a day, but these are low-calorie ones. And during the day, they have small meals like salads or water or so forth. I don't know where Jay gets his ideas from. No, I wouldn't vote for Trump because he ripped me off with the Trump network there. Anyone that rips me off and takes my money, I wouldn't vote for, you know. So Porsche Taycan, I'm not big into Porsches there, Pug Man. I'm more of a Jaguar and Mercedes type person, as well as a Cadillac there. I was never really interested in Porsche. They're really nice cars here, but Porsche is not really one of my things here. Jack 3D was a good supplemental. Here's the rule about here's the rule about a supplement. If it's pulled off the market, chances are it worked. Yeah, at some point in time, caffeine, for me, it works just fine. It wakes it up. But for some people, they get used to it and it doesn't work after a while. My body's just used to it. I've been drinking coffee since I was in high school, so. Yeah, ECA works magic there. I wouldn't take it at this day and age there. I don't take any fat burners or anything at my age. Got to be real careful with that type of stuff. Herschel Walker has done a number of slip-ups, but I don't think it's going to make a difference here. You know, regardless as to what Walker actually says there, Republicans are going to vote Republican, Democrats are going to vote Democrat. I don't think anything that he says or anything is going to make any difference, but he's made a lot of bloops and bleeps. What'll happen to Alabama when Nick Saban retires? I think they'll go to a process to where they may win or lose games. It's going to really depend on who replaces Saban. Raw, looks like they covered up your comment, but the answer is no to that. There, I wouldn't buy anything from them. Like I said, Trump ripped me off. So I wouldn't. That's why I wouldn't vote for him. There has nothing really to do so much as politics. It has to deal with him ripping me off. There, would you vote for someone that rips you off for money? Well, truth one, sometimes it takes a while for a team to get on the run there. It's happened before as far as the Lakers are concerned there. So I think as the season picks up, they'll get into their groove. Maybe. How's my back today? It's hurting. Like I said, I still work out regularly, so I don't recover as fast as I used to. Porn addiction. Here's the thing about that, scat man. It's perfectly normal and actually healthy for someone to jerk off, 1 or 2 times a day or so forth there. If you've ever watched the movie Wolf of Wall Street there, Matt McConaughey makes that point itself. What I would consider porn addiction is if you're spending a whole bunch of money on porn, or if you're just jerking it, every single hour or so forth there. The way you can identify porn addiction is if you're spending hundreds and thousands of dollars, and some people are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on porn and on watching OnlyFans and stuff like that. And whenever it interferes with the relationship there. The thing about porn is, and I'm not big into that there. The thing about porn is, if you watch so much porn, you have an unrealistic attitude towards relationships, towards women. You have the tendency to think that any woman that you see is going to be ugly. In other words, because when you see porn, usually the women are pretty, the men are good looking and stuff like that. So with the porn addiction there, when you see a regular person on the street or so forth, it gives you an antagonistic behavior towards them just because of that, that you think that, the type of woman or dude that you're dating has to be similar to the people that you see in a porn video. So as far as mushrooms are concerned there, mushrooms have been used for thousands of years for those types of problems there. So they definitely do have a place. Before all of this pharmaceutical stuff was around, you had things like mushrooms and herbs and stuff like that, I mean, we've really been in I'm going to be honest with you, really been in the pharmaceutical era of things for maybe about 50 to 60, actually 70 to 80 years here. Not much time, Before all of that, you had mushrooms, you had herbs, you had alcohol, you had cigars and tobacco and stuff like that, And you had stuff like digititis and stuff for heart issues. How often do I watch porn? I'm not going to answer that, Raw. Why don't I get into TRT? Once you get on the TRT therapy is quite expensive for starters there. I don't find any need to... My testosterone is just fine there, I don't find it as necessary. I train properly, and I eat properly, and my testosterone levels are normal. If my doctor says I need to go on testosterone therapy, I would get the bare minimum. But I just don't need testosterone therapy, Well, that's Huberman's position on that. Some people shouldn't watch porn, especially if they have an addictive nature or so forth. 5 minutes, that sounds like a game plan there. You like I said, I take it the same as the Wolf of Wall Street there. Yeah, everyone cracks one there. But no, I'm pretty much the same way. Get in, get out, you're done. Raw, man. I'm definitely not gonna. I'm not gonna definitely show what. Ew, disgusting. Scatman, it's not going to affect any contest preparations, and it will affect relationships here, but not contest prep. It has no, they don't correlate with each other. Yes, Rawl, it'll make you less attractive to women in the real world there. That's one thing about porn addiction, because you have a unrealistic attitude towards what a woman is here or what they should look like. Deedle, it's not so much a take on mushrooms here. I mean, it's just, it's the way the world worked before we got into all this pharmaceutical stuff. And, a lot of the modern pharmaceuticals are, the way they've been made, they come from these herbs. For example, you have opium, and opium became heroin. Heroin was used in the pharmacy, and this is what's going to probably end up happening, and this is what I tried to warn Richard about. As far as these pharmaceuticals are concerned, you don't know what's putting in your body, whether it's the vax or something like that. And I've taken the vax and I've taken the booster. I'm going to be honest with you folks there. When I took the vax and I took the booster, I got super sick there, We really don't know the long-term effects of that vax here. So that's why I don't really like pharmaceuticals. But it was a decision that I made for the best of me, because a lot of my family members passed away because of COVID there. In life, you just have to do the best you can as far as making decisions are concerned. But once you've made that decision, you can't have any regrets on it, But I try to stay away from pharmaceuticals here. Naturally at my age, I take stuff for high blood pressure. I never had an issue with it, but I take it as a safeguard for myself there, because I know I have the potential of it. And my family history is prone to high blood pressure. Being black is prone to high blood pressure and diabetes. That's why I work out a bunch, and I eat regularly and stuff like that, Big Richard was a good guy, but, I'm not knocking TRT. I'm just saying, Athens, for my sake, it's just not for me. I don't wish to take it. John Bravo swears by it and stuff like that. He can do him. I'm gonna do me. It's just not something I'm gonna do. But I'm not gonna go and tell someone else not to do it. There, this is something I'm not gonna do. Cade, I've never seen that Disney movie before, so I don't really have an opinion as far as its accuracy is concerned. But most movies as a whole, they'll tell a story or so forth, and it's never going to be 100% accurate. The reason being is because it's a movie, so it has to have some level of entertainment in order to have people to see it there. No, Scatman, masturbating does not affect your workout there. There's no correlation between the two. Well, Deedle, to answer your question as far as Adderall is concerned, as long as it's doctor prescribed, and if your wife's doctor says that she needs to take it, then I would go and listen to the doctor. I've done the DASH diet before. it didn't have any positive effects the way I have it nowadays. I keep low protein and keep my carbs medium and uh, keep fats down there. I look out more for caloric intake or so forth, but I don't eat as much protein as I used to or as much meats. I am now in a position where I'm eating more vegetables, more of that than eating meat there. So I'll usually some days I don't have any meat or anything at all there. So I've cut down on how much meat I actually eat, and I rarely eat any red meat neither. So, but I've cut down a lot as far as meat is concerned. I mean, I just don't. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't really. My body's actually changing as you get older. You find that what you used to eat a long time ago is not what you're into now. There, so yes, Brad is indeed on Adderall. There, like I said, if his doctor prescribed it to him, there, I'm not gonna knock him for that. If your doctor prescribes you something for something that you need, that's perfectly fine there. The key is it working for Brad? And that's the whole thing about Richard Vegan Gains. If his doctor is prescribing the stuff there, the problem is it's not working there. I mean, he's up there punching a pillow and everything like that. So it's very concerning there. I wish the best for him. Hopefully he gets his thing straight there. I just think he probably does need to drink and smoke a little bit instead of doing all these prescriptions. Because clearly, these prescription medicines that he's taking isn't working. Be nice, Kaizen. Be nice. Well, Raw, Big Lenny would be someone that would actually know it there, but it can be very dangerous to do things like that. And you can end up in a diabetic coma or so. No, Raw, I'm not even close to being a diabetic there. A lot of my family is diabetic, but that's the importance of working out and eating a balanced diet there and keeping your caloric intake down. And of course, making sure that I get regular doctors actually checking me out and everything. Constipated every 2 months there. That's definitely not good. I would probably recommend, and this is one of the reasons why I eat steel cut oats practically almost every day is because of that, because it helps the body regulate itself there. So, Scatman, try eating. Just have a bowl of steel cut oats every single day. You'll find that you won't get constipated there as much. I don't know when's the last time I've ever been constipated. It's been at least maybe 2 or 3 years since I've been constipated there, because I eat oatmeal and I eat other fibrous plants that prevent that type of stuff. Plus, I drink a lot of water. A lot of people also get constipated because they don't drink enough water. So basically, there's no flow. So. I think John Bravo actually uses that minoxidil in order to grow his hair or so forth. I don't know if I never actually asked him whether he uses a hair piece here. I mean, he's just a friend of mine. It's just not something I've ever asked him that. I mean, we're pals there. So I don't keep up with what he actually does. He's told me he's taken TRT, but I'm not familiar with a hairpiece or anything like that. Maybe I should ask him that, but it's not really that important. No, no one will ever fit. No one will ever forget about his past. There, that's the thing I mentioned before earlier on in the stream, to where I mentioned about OnlyFans. There. That stuff's around forever. My pictures from the 2004 Metrolina when I competed, they're there forever. I mean, I learned firsthand as far as to everything that you've done in the past, it doesn't disappear. Nothing disappears off the internet, you know. John Bravo's straight as nails. I can tell you that. He's not going to come out of. There's no closet for him to come out because he's straight. So, well, Deedle, I mean, it's clear. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that happened to his husband there. And I know I made a little crack about it there and everything like that. It's just the way our society is these days here. Uh, and you know, that person was clearly looking for Nancy, so it was definitely politically motivated. But no, I mean, the thing about it is that as much as you can hate Pelosi, this guy's like 82 years old and he gets beat with a hammer there. That's not cool. That's an elderly person. And like I said, he's 80 years old and you're gonna beat him with a hammer. That's not cool. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Gay people can tell if someone's gay or not. There, I don't get any gay vibes off of John Bravo. He's straight as nails here. You know, I can tell if someone's gay or not there, believe me. I never liked Pat Buchanan there. I remember during one of his debates there, he actually, one of his ads against a candidate, he gave the candidate a big old nose and everything like that. And, you know, and it's the same with Ross Perot. If you guys have ever heard of the Ross Perot reports, they're pretty horrible. So I'm not a big fan of Pat Buchanan for doing something like that. I'm not into anti-Semitic behavior. I got a lot of Jewish friends and stuff, so I'm not cool with stuff like that. You know. As far as enemas are concerned, enemas are good if you do have constipation. There, it's don't think of it as sticking something in your ass or anything like that. It's actually to treat a health condition there, as far as an enema is concerned. Now, if you're sticking it in your butt for fun, that's not good. But, I mean, you would want to use an enema if you do have issues with constipation there. Yeah, they need to be careful in case. I mean, especially in that side of the country there, Andy. I don't even know why they're even there to begin with there, you know. I would never enter in a country to where they basically throw gays off of a tall building. Why in the world would you go to a country like that? No, I wouldn't date Anderson Cooper there. Not my type. I don't think we would get along neither there. I've not seen the video, but I mean that doesn't surprise me. I mean we're talking about Big Lenny there, you know. Uh, I'm trying to read this here. Bravo made a comedy video about the impersonators and stuff like that. He did that for fun there, you know. I mean, it's for mints there, you know. Sometimes mints hurts other people's feelings there, but so what? It's mints. Athens, neither one of them are normal. I don't get these coffee enemas there. Enemas should just have water in it there. When you start putting things in there with herbs and spices, I mean, why do you need a coffee enema for? Remember, enemas should only be used to treat a medical condition. Do you think David Lade can play a good Batman? Maybe. You know, the thing about playing Batman is not so much as the actor. It's all about the script itself there. You can, as you can tell, you can have some of the greatest actors around there, and the movies bomb not because of the actor itself, it's because of the script. If the script is garbage, then, you know, you get what you get. I don't have Netflix there. I don't pay for cable or anything like that. I use my stream. I don't pay nothing for cable or stuff like that. I think paying for anything video wise in this day and age is just ridiculous. I got Pluto TV. I have an antenna. You know, I got Amazon Prime with my membership. I have an Amex Platinum. So I also get, and then of course I have my Verizon service. So I get the Disney bundle and I get Apple Music. As far as Dahmer is concerned, Dahmer was a very scary person when I was a kid there. So, you know, watching him on TV and seeing the real court cases, you know, I don't think that people should glamorize Dahmer. Dahmer was a horrible person there. Do I ever drink to get drunk? Absolutely not. I drink in moderation. I drink for relaxation there, but you know, I definitely know when it's time to cut it off there. Me and Scooby don't get along with each other, so the answer is no on that. Plus, he's a lot older than I am too, as well. So I think he's in his 60s here. Me and him used to have competing websites back in the early 2000s here. So, well, Anderson Cooper is a host of CNN as well as 60 Minutes here, you know. Is Vegan Gains strong for his age there? I would say he's stronger than an average person at his age there. But I think his diet actually holds him back from being any stronger. He can be a whole lot stronger there, you know. But I think with him, I think he rushes in his exercises there. And the biggest thing that he needs to be careful of is, remember, when you're building a house, you should build a house slowly. When he tries to go and do all these jumps and weights, he gets himself injured, and then he ends up having to start back over. Slow and steady wins the race when it comes to muscle. Will kids ring my doorbell? I don't have a doorbell. They'll knock and stuff like that, and I'll give them some candy or so. But, you know, I've not had anyone really knock on my door there or anything. I didn't have anyone knock on my door last year. I think nowadays most parents take their kids to like one of those little schools or so forth to hand out candy. And that's just simply for the safety there. What's my favorite different colored actors? I don't have one, and I never thought of them. I don't see color when it comes to actors. If they're a great actor, who cares what race they are? So, Scooby gives great advice there as far as training's concerned. Scooby did, and yes, Athens. He used to claim that he was natty, and that's where my disagreement was. I mean, he claimed natty because he felt that he wasn't buying it. He was getting TRT. A lot of people are under the perception that if you get TRT, you're not taking steroids, and that's wrong. Wrong. I did watch True Blood for one season there, and I just wasn't really interested into it there. I'm not big on vampires. Well, Jay Masters has a right to like what he likes there, you know. Doesn't make any difference to me. reading comments here. Let's see. Well, remember, Kaizen, unless it's on Pluto TV or anything, I mean, I'm probably not going to see it there, you know, unless it shows up on Amazon Prime or Disney or so forth there. But if it shows up on Netflix or cable television, I'm not going to really care about that. I don't pay for TV unless I'm on TV. It's a waste of time to pay for cable or so forth. If you want to watch the news, you can watch it on with a regular antenna. Pluto TV gives free TV and there's news there. I mean, but if it's a show to where I have to pay for, fuck it. Now I do have Crunchyroll, so but even with that being said, I probably still wouldn't watch it because, like I said, I'm not really into vampires here. I think of vampires as emos here, and I'm not big on emos here. Vegan Gains is there, but even though I'm a big fan of anime, and I mean, I consider I put the vampires in the same category as emos, so. Andy, I've never heard that before. A hangover off alcohol. Hangover will give you a bad headache, so I don't see how you can be horny and have a bad headache there. I've only dipped snuff and I've only dipped maybe 2 or 3 times, and that was in high school because I went to Irwin High. I went to a pretty much a farming school. So, obviously I've tried dip before, but I think it's nasty. My granddad dipped. My granddad and my grandma, they dip snuff. So, I think that's one of those old folks type things. The same with pipes or so. And even with cigars, because nowadays people are doing those vapes and stuff, so. Okay, as long as it's on somewhere that it's free and I ain't got to pay for it or anything like that so much, then that's perfectly fine. No, it's not a velvet robe there. This is a silk robe. Training split, well, it's more or less 3 days working out in the gym, 3 days working out at home, and I do a full body workout there twice a week. But I have a variety in it. As long as I'm consistently training there, that's really all that matters here. As far as a chest workout is concerned, I start with a cable chest there in order to get things warmed up, and then I'll do declining bicep press there. That's one of my favorites here because a lot of people don't build that lower chest. And then I'll do an inclined press, whether it's bench or incline or on a machine or so forth. I switch it around, but I always start with cable weights just to warm up the muscles so that prevents injury. And then I'll start with decline bench presses there. Decline bench press is something that everyone should employ because too many people just do the regular bench press and they don't build the other portion, because most people don't do decline bench presses here. They think that makes them feel awkward, but you got to build the muscles out in full, so. But, because the show is going to end in about 18 minutes, I think I'll probably end up doing a video one of these days, giving a rundown of my actual workout as a whole. Dusty, chances are they will take the Senate and House, but it's not going to make any difference because they're only going to take it maybe by like 1 or 2 people. even with the Democrats having the Senate and the House there, you notice they can't get anything done because the margins are so short. So it doesn't make any difference. No, I've never tried to convert a straight man. What's the heaviest dumbbells that I've ever chest pressed? 120s. Nowadays, the heaviest I'll go would be 100-pound dumbbells. But I have done 120-pound dumbbells before, but that was a long time ago. And eventually I'm probably going to cut down to maybe doing just 70-pound dumbbells. Because even 100 for me nowadays, it's I feel as though I'm going to get hurt doing that. So I got nothing to prove, to be honest with you there. I've done really heavy weights there. You know, for me now, going to the gym is just to stay healthy. And that's the most important thing. I just want to stay healthy in this day and age. The only thing I've ever played, Dusty, was the trumpet there. No, I've never played any bass. So I can actually play the trumpet there, but, you know, I haven't played it since high school. But, you know, when it comes to a musical instrument, that's something that you'll never forget. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. All right, folks, we got 15 minutes in. Get your questions in. Raul, I had a training partner at one point in time, but nowadays I train alone for the most part. I've not had a training partner maybe in almost 15 years or so forth. Yeah, it's good to break down the muscle fibers and build them back up there. But when it comes to me personally, at this point in time, I just want to train to maintain and stay healthy. My focus really is not to get bigger or get any freakier or anything like that, you know. How close am I to the Great Smoky Mountains here? Being in Greenville, I'm probably about an hour away. But I am glad I'm glad to hear that you had a good time. There's a lot of places that you can tour in the Smoky Mountains there, so. No, I've never owned any Gore-Tex products or anything, especially not their jackets here. What happened to my last training partner? I have no clue. I suppose that he's still around Greenville or so forth there, but you know, once I moved to Silva there, I lost touch with him. You know, you have to remember 2007 there wasn't really any Facebook, or it was in early development there, so, and I didn't get on Facebook until like 2009 anyway. I'm not a big fan of Southern Comfort there. That's that Janis Joplin stuff. That's one thing about Southern Comfort and Snuff. That is something that predates me there. That's stuff that Southern Comfort was popular in the 50s and 60s. It's not something that most people drink in this day and age, not even myself here. Oh, that's good, Truth, but you have to make the decision for yourself as far as how long you wish to go as far as competing is concerned. Well, Andrew doesn't train at the same gym that I train at there. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have any interest doing any training videos or anything like that. Plus, at this point in time, I like training alone or so forth. Now, one person I probably train with is Charles Dixon, maybe there. Good old Rock Solid. I may train with him. I mean, We trained at the same gym a long time ago back in the day before he even got into bodybuilding and stuff there. No, I've never skydived, and I have no interest in jumping out of a perfectly good plane. So, I'm not into extreme sports, obviously. Most black folks are not any extreme athletes. You won't find us. Now, I have rock climbed before. That's going to be the extent, and I've rappelled out of a helicopter, but that was when I was in the military for a short period of time and in ROTC. But as far as jumping out of a plane, no. I don't have any interest in extreme sports. Actually, the helicopter thing was when I was in ROTC, so. Do I have any PG adult stories here? Yeah, I have them there. Not something there's not enough time to even go into any weird stories or anything like that. But it's kind of strange there. If I'm going to tell adult stories, they're not going to exactly be PG or anything. Raw, I haven't blocked anything. Just remember, YouTube will block your comments if you say something out of line itself there. Sometimes I can show them. Other times, it doesn't even allow me. And if I end up showing them, then I get flagged by YouTube there. They give me a warning or so. So most of the time, if you get flagged by YouTube, the majority of them, I can't really unblock them or anything. Southern Comfort, it just tastes like crap there. I mean, it's sweet and bitter and hot and cold there would be the best way to describe it. I just don't drink it. Yeah, Charles is a beast there, I was way bigger than he was when he trained with me. This is like 2001 and stuff like that, so... Yeah, I was bigger than him at the time there, and he's way bigger than me now though. So now Charles, we also worked. He drove a forklift around, and I was doing security at the time. One time, he actually almost ran me over with the forklift while I was doing my checks there. So, but I got a couple other stories there. But yeah. Well, Kaizen, you should not be pursuing women there, You have to strike up a conversation and a relationship with a woman. You don't go and chase after them like a dog or so forth, and sniff her butt or anything. You just got to build up a general relationship. You get nervous because you're not supposed to be pursuing women or so. That's the problem with most relationships here. We look at all we do is look at tits and ass here, You shouldn't do that, Get to know someone first, and then you won't feel so nervous about pursuing. Which, again, the way I would, if you're going to pursue a woman, you need to get to know her, have a coffee with her, talk to her, get to know who she is there, The easiest thing to do is just say hi. Once you do that, and she says hi back and stuff like that, and you get into a conversation, you start talking, you start learning about her friends and family and stuff like that, you'll notice that you won't be so nervous because now you have something to talk about with her. So I don't have an opinion on Sassy Savage because I don't know who that person is there. But when you say goddess, I would think that it would be one of the people that Lenny plays with there. I'm just assuming it there. Well, as far as whiskey is concerned, I think Irish whiskey is the best. But when it comes to Scotch, there's no such thing as Scotch from anywhere other than Scotland. As far as red pillars are concerned, it's going to vary between the individual itself. Some people just take it a little bit too far there, As far as red pilling is concerned. it's always good to pursue truth and everything, because not everything in the media is what it seems there. But at the same time, you can't be just going off into tangents here. Sometimes people can't take the truth, and sometimes people can't take that red pill. They end up throwing it back up. Ah, you're cool with that there, Kaizen. Raw, I can't unblock it, but that's absolutely not true. And you shouldn't be stalking a woman there. First off, that's illegal. And two, uh, it's not morally right there. Man, you're not going to get any trim or anything. If you're trying to bang some puss there, you don't want to pursue. In fact, you shouldn't be trying to pursue push. You should, any relationship there that you get into, it has to start with talking and getting to know someone there. You got to think with this head. Don't think with the other head. You use your brain, not your cock, in order to find a mate there. You go and pursue it with your cock there, you're just bound for failure. That's why people screw up their relationship so much, because they're not using the right head. Sometimes, Scatman, higher alcohol content's not always the best there, And I don't drink anything to where they add colors and flavors to it there. But you just got to read the reports and reviews to get the best solution, depending on what you're actually drinking, whether it's brandy, cognac, scotch, or so forth there. Definitely don't buy any. There's no such thing again as American scotch. Scotch is only from one country, and that's Scotland. Yeah, exactly. Truth there. You gotta actually connect with the woman there. You got to connect with any relationship. You can't just go and stalk them. I don't know why Big Lenny would say something like that. That's an animalistic and primal behavior, and it doesn't work in this day and age. It has nothing to do with being woke. It's just common sense that things like that would only end in failure. So, but you got to also look at Lenny's relationships. I don't think he's ever been married. I've been married, so I should know. So. And I've had a number of long-term relationships. So I think I know a lot more about it than Big Lenny. I could be wrong there. He could have been married, but I've not ever heard of him talking about ever being married. Yeah, Big Lenny riding down on the bicycle would be kind of scary, so. Daryl Brooks should have been hung from a tree the moment that he was caught, running down 5 people. But I guess that's the way society is here. And the only reason why he was doing that type of stuff there is so he can get himself a mistrial and on appeal. But that's simply not going to happen. He's going to end up doing a life sentence here. And once he's done, he's going to be done. And then that'll be the end of it. Oh, I stand corrected. He was married there, so I'm not sure if he stalked that woman in order to get married there. That's kind of odd there. But given the fact that I heard him whenever he made that video with that Mistress Goddess, to where he was doing that recording, I don't think he would be in a position to where he would be married at this day and age there. Going to jail just to get medical insurance is extreme. But it doesn't surprise me that someone would actually do that. Raw, that's a hard question to actually answer. But I would probably think that he was a bum. But it's very important not to assume a person in life. Just because someone has tattoos or so forth, that doesn't make them a hoodlum or so. Shouldn't judge someone based upon their looks. But if Big Lenny was riding down on the bike, it's natural for a human being to assume something. I would assume he was a bum. But it's not good to assume things. So I just want to make that clear, though. It's not a behavior that I would agree with, but it's natural human behavior to think that way. It's more or less involved as far as instinctive behavior is concerned. I don't drink milk anymore. I just take a calcium supplement because anytime I drink milk, it turns my stomach into knots there. I don't know. They call it lactose intolerant or something like that. So, what year is my Cadillac? It is a 2002. Raw, people get tattoos for a number of reasons there. Most of the time I've noticed people get tattoos because of a personal interest or an affiliation there. For example, anyone that's in the military would get a military tattoo of their platoon and division there. So a tattoo pretty much represents a time in life that a person actually had, or just something that has a general interest, or some people tattoo the names of their girlfriends or wives or so forth there. I think tattoos tell a story about a person's experiences. So, and some people want those experiences to travel along with them, which is why they get tattoos. No, I probably won't get a tattoo. Alright, folks, it is 12 p.m. It is midnight. It's the end of the show. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Midnight Run. I want to thank Pugman. I definitely appreciate the donations there, which will go right back into the channel. Folks, you guys have a good weekend. Drive safe. And as always, peace and soul.